Welcome to the American Women Podcast. Like, share, subscribe, and comment below. And it's me, Carlos Campbell, and we got Austin Perry. And we're looking forward to these topics today. So I'm going to start you off as always. Our first topic is why women use cosmetic procedures.
Well, okay. I think a lot of women will undergo different types of cosmetic procedures because they might be getting a little older up there in age. They might be getting, 45, 48, up in their 50s, especially. They start thinking about, oh, should I get that tummy tuck? Should I get, a boob job? Or should it be lip injections? Things like this, which I totally support if you don't go overboard with it is the thing. Because I think that it's just the same as like getting your nails done or getting your hair done, which is totally fine. You're just trying to make yourself look more beautiful. But I mean, if you're getting like, 13 procedures in 1 year, then, and you spent, 250, 300 grand or something like that, that's ridiculous, because next thing you know, you're going to start looking like Michael Jackson, and then your nose is falling off next thing you know. And sometimes when they go overboard, they can't even smile. Their lips, are all like stiff, and they can't even, like, their eyebrows don't move. And it looks very weird, very artificial, very fake. But I think that within reason, I do support women getting cosmetic procedures, because the reason why they do it is, they might be feeling a little bit down and out, a little bit low on the self-esteem, and it's a confidence booster for them. It helps them look more beautiful. It helps them potentially improve their relationship with their better half, with their husband, with their boyfriend, whoever it is. And so I think it's empowering to women. And I think that, within reason, that definitely women should definitely go get those different types of cosmetic procedures if that's what they want to do. I'm not into body shaming in any way, and I totally support women who want to get different types of cosmetic procedures. And the reason why they do it is because they're trying to look more beautiful, more pretty, more glamorous, and it's to improve their confidence and to make them happier in life. And life is all about happiness.
I'm going to have to agree with you. I think women are getting these cosmetic procedures is because the world or America is setting this superficial standard for women. You have to have a slim waist, and your boobs have to be perfect, and your booty has to be perfect, but nobody's perfect. So they they have this pressure, especially going through high school and college and just being in the public eye. There is this standard where if you don't look perfect, then you're just ugly. So they go through these procedures and then they're praised. So I think they're doing it because everybody is criticizing them. Because I think if nobody criticized them, they wouldn't even think of that. But it's like this, it's not even criticism, it's hyper criticism. Is where, like, oh, your waist isn't a size zero, you're not a size zero, you're fat, plus size. I said that word. You're plus size, and stuff like that. So I think it's them, like you said, building their confidence up, because once they do like one or two procedures, then everybody's liking them, and then it's okay. They boost their confidence. You're like, yeah, I got this. Because it's some stuff that if you go to the gym and work out, you can't change. So that cosmetic procedure is helping boosting their confidence. I like confident women. I don't like when they're too shy. So it goes like, just like with anything, it goes overboard, and we've seen pictures of the cosmetic surgery going overboard. But
And another thing I'd
body
like to say, exactly. And then another thing too is like where a woman might have a birth defect. And so I totally support women who are trying to make themselves, a little bit more beautiful or look more normal or fit in with society more if, say, for instance, one of their boobs is much smaller than the other one, and that's just how they were born. And that's totally acceptable. Or another thing too, I want to say is these women that are getting this fix-a-flat tire foam into their butts, down in Miami and stuff. And then their butt is just so big and it's so fake looking. That I don't really support. I don't think that's a good thing. Like, how do you wipe? I don't know.
But
It's hard to say.
Their choice. So do what you want with your body. So we could go to the next topic. This is I don't think it's triggering. It's triggering for us, but not for women. So this is a odd situation that we have to talk about where women are going to like this topic, but it's going to be triggering for us. Mr. Austin, why women friend zone?
The dreaded friend zone situation. Well, a lot of times this will happen when a man will get super desperate and he just wants to be around a woman, even though she has no actual intention of giving him any kind of intimacy or any kind of sexual attention. She just kind of keeps him around, so that she has a guy there. Like, she uses him as a shield in some instances when she goes out into public, because there's a man there, even though she's not dating him, but she can just kind of use him as a shield to prevent other guys from coming up and talking to her, like in the club or something like that, or just out at a restaurant or out in the park or whatever. But another reason is because it's like a power thing over the man, where they feel like they might have been in a bad relationship in the past, or they might have been in an abusive relationship in the past. And so now they're in a situation where they're trying to have power and control over a man. So they have the nice guy who is basically in love with the woman. And that's the thing. All these guys that are friend zoned, they want to get with the girl that they're friend zoned with. They're on 99.9999% of the time, a friend zone guy is in love with the girl that friend zoned him. And he wants to be with her. He wants to hook up with her. He wants to kiss her, but she won't let him. And, because the guy is soft and he's basically turned into a Nancy boy, he allows himself to go along with this situation where he's been friend zoned. For me, it's impossible to friend zone me, because number one, I'm either going to, if I like you, try and make a move on you, or I'm just not going to hang out with you if I know you're going to try and friend zone with me. So it's impossible to friend zone me. But other guys who are softer and weaker don't have the fortitude and the capabilities to not let themselves be friend zoned. And unfortunately, a lot of these weak beta males fall into the friend zone category. So it's kind of like a pandemic that's going on among the soft guys. And so it's a sad situation to see. But the reason that the women will friend zone the men is so that they can have control over them, and so that they can use them as a shield. And so it's kind of like their little puppy dog, they keep it as like their little lapdog chihuahua. And they can just like be like, oh, let me just pet your shoulder, but oh no, I'm not going to kiss you. Or like, so it's kind of one of those weird things.
I think they're trying to be nice. I don't think they want to be viewed as the bad guy. Because if you have a guy that's like interested in a girl, and then she's like kind of interested, and then she just changed her mind at the last second, like, he's a good person, but I'm not romantically interested. But she'll know that deep down inside, he wants to like get with her, but he's like kind of scared or whatever, the lack of confidence or whatever. I think they think it's cute and they feel sorry for them, because women are real bad with rejection. So they empathize with the guy friend, like, dang, if I turn him down, that's really going to break his heart, and then I really value our friendship, and I'm gonna lose a friend and stuff. And I think guys are more cooler friends than girls. So they like, shoot, I got a guy friend. This dude cool. So I think they're trying to be nice. They don't want to be the bad guy. Like, they're like, yeah, he's my friend or whatever. I don't want nothing to do with him. But and women think about sex differently than men, to where a man like, oh, I really want to have sex with her and stuff. And then the girl's like, no, I don't care. 'Cause
And
they,
then also
it's so
these
easy,
women,
like whatever.
yeah, and these women that they have these guys friend zoned, they really don't think that the guy wants to get with them. But in reality, 99.999% of the time, a man who's friend zoned actually, if he had an opportunity, would hook up with that girl. But the woman would say, oh, no, 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 he's not like that. We're just friends. And then I'll be like, oh, okay. Is he attracted to men or is he attracted to women? Oh, no, he's straight. I'm like, oh, no, he likes you. They're like, no, 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 he doesn't like me.
I
I'm
think
like, I'm sorry, you're in denial, honey.
I think they really know deep down inside.
Maybe,
I don't.
maybe. A lot of them are in denial, though. They really are in denial. They just think that, oh, no, we're just friends. I'm like, no, he likes you. He's actually in love with you. Like, no, no, I don't think so. We're just friends. But I think
And
they're in denial.
the lack of mystery, because when a girl has a guy friend, he pretty much know everything about him and stuff. And then we're not talking about professional relationships or anything, and that just like platonic friendship or whatever. I think that I just lost my train of thought. I just got in a friend zone. I just think that they deep down inside think that the guy is gonna the guy really likes them, but they just don't want to be the bad guy. But I don't know. And then, but it's weird because there'll be some people that's been friends for like 10 years and they end up being together. So is that dynamic too, to where both sides are scared to like be straightforward with each other, which is defeats the purpose of a friendship. Because if I'm a true friend to a girl and then I really like her, I'm gonna tell her like, I really like you and I think we should take it to the next level. The worst thing that could happen is be like, no. And I'd be like, okay. And then we continue being friends, because that's what friends are for, is to be honest with them, regardless of anything. So you won't get judged. That's the whole point of having friends. But we could go to the next comment. I know the ladies like this comment. Ladies, comment below. Why tell us why you put guys in friend zones, or do they put themselves in friend zones? So the next question is, are women great analysts? Are they really good in analyzing and paying attention to the details? I'll start with you, Austin.
I think definitely women are great analysts. They have very analytical brains, and sometimes they can actually overanalyze things. And sometimes they tend to think about things too hard or too deeply or for too long. And so, but a lot of them are very good at collecting data and analyzing a lot of different information points. And so, women actually, I think, are very good analysts and of all different types of things. Because I mean, you can analyze everything. I mean, there's so many different topics and categories and different types of information that you can analyze. But when compared to men, I would say that men are good at analyzing things also, and men can be good analysts at certain things like, say, sports, or analyzing history or wars or certain things like that. And then women are good at analyzing other things in their own right. So it might be that women are better at analyzing certain topics compared to men, but on average, I would say women are probably better analysts than men overall, just because I think women have slightly better psychic capabilities than men, and in a lot of different instances can be mentally superior to men and can be smarter than men. So I think that women are very good analysts, when it comes to analyzing a lot of different types of information.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you. I think women are terrible analysts. I
Okay.
think they because they're a lot of them prejudge a lot, so they'll already like get a preview of you or try to think you're this type of person when they haven't took time to analyze. I think the American women nowadays don't take time to analyze. I think that's why they go on dates, probably like one date or two dates, and they be like, okay, I'm done. They don't take time to look and analyze the person because they're thinking of so much other things. They're like, next. Um, yeah, I think it's very sociopathic to say that you could tell if you like a guy within like 10 minutes. I mean, not 10 minutes, like 1 minute of looking at him or 30 seconds or 2 minutes of conversation with him. You already made it in your mind if you like him or not. And I think that's very sociopathic. I think it takes a while to like learn somebody because women these days, you make one mistake on a date or anything, it's like, oh, red flag and it's over. But I think they're not understand that nobody's perfect. You can have some days where you're not on your game or not as confident. Then the other day you're like, oh, okay. Because a lot of men, just like women, we don't show our 100% selves. We should, but sometimes we don't. Sometimes we don't feel like being goofy. We feel like being serious on around you during certain occasions. But once we warm up, then you can see the real person. I think that's why a lot of marriages and couples break up after moving in with each other because they're like, oh, this is the real you. And it's so
That
easy for men to womanize women because all you got to do is just show off a fancy show off some fancy jewelry, fancy watch, and have a real nice car, and then they already put in their mindset like, oh my god, he's successful. And then it's men that do this all the time. They don't even look at the license plate. It's a rental. He rented that license. I think women are terrible analysts, but that's my
so
opinion.
you think they jump to conclusions and judgments quicker than men? I can see that. And then I would also say how you were talking about, because that's how I was saying how they overanalyze things. Like if you go on a date with a woman, they'll be like, oh, he breathed wrong. Oh no, he's not the one. Or he wore a black shirt on this date. Oh no, it's not meant to be. Or so that is kind of true how they would jump to conclusions too quickly. But I do think that it definitely depends on the individual, because there are some women who are very stupid and dumb, and then there are some women who are geniuses. But I will say also, women are much more emotional than men.
And I'll give the ladies, the viewers, a secret of mine. When I'm interested in a woman or talking to her or dating her, I will purposely say stuff about me that they wouldn't like just to see if they could get past that. Just so I know, like, oh, she want a perfect guy. Okay. I'll tell them like an embarrassing story or some like unpopular opinion of mine. I'll be like, oh, I believe in extraterrestrials or something like that. Something I actually believe in, but if they feel like that's a red flag, then they'll be like, oh, he's this crazy UFO guy and stuff like that. Or even just with spirituality, with like gemstones and psychic and stuff like that, they automatically assume that like, oh, you're crazy or you're a bad person. But I also am enlightened, so I balance the real world with the metaphysical world.
Well, I will say UFOs are definitely real. And it's funny because I saw this meme actually. It was a Lord of the Rings meme with Boromir where he is like, one does not simply walk past a crystal shop. I thought that was pretty funny.
Because if a lady, what was something a girl told me that would be like a red flag?
I think a red flag is when they have 3.5 inch nails with rhinestones all over them. That can be kind of a red flag.
Red flag. I dated plenty of girls that would be like, oh, I'm still friends with all my exes and stuff. I don't instantly stop talking to them because of that, even though that is one of those red flags that you just instantly cut off a chick if she's still friends with her exes. I try to like get to know them, get to know their perspective on it or whatever. And then if it doesn't work out, it'll be because of them. It wouldn't be because I'm just sitting there and be like, oh, she says she's friends with her exes or whatever. It's probably some story behind it. It isn't just friends with exes because they don't have any closure.
Yep. Or if she has,
Exes where they don't really talk on the phone, or where they'll just be casual if they do see each other. But if we're in a relationship, she'll respect that, to where she don't keep in contact with her exes versus seeing her ex at like a grocery store or whatever, like, hey, how you doing? Just catch up or whatever, and then that's it. But a lot of women will be like, yeah, I'm still friends with exes, and then date you, and then just be hanging out with their exes or call their exes and just be talking. I'm like, that defeats the purpose of a relationship.
yeah,
So
say you're like on the third date with a woman, and then she gets a text, and then you're like, oh, who's texting you? And she's like, oh, it's just my ex-boyfriend. Oh, don't worry about that. I'd be like, what? What? That would be a red flag right there, you know?
So I gave y'all women some clues, some of my secrets that I do. A lot of other men do it too, but I don't want to put their secrets out there. We purposely say stuff that will like kind of set you back or turn you off just to see if you're a great analyzer. All right. And our next topic is, and our final topic is women in politics. Are they really informed? Austin, are women really informed in politics in America?
American women on average, I would say no, because on average, women just like to watch, Real Housewives, or, the Kardashians, or random kitten videos that they find on YouTube. But as far as actually following a lot of what the different senators and Congress people and different, state representatives and mayors and governors, and what the actual like presidential cabinet and, presidential advisors and, different diplomats and all these different types of people, what they're actually saying within the political sphere. Because all these people make videos, all of these different elected representatives, they all make videos, they all have their opinions, they're all going on different news channels to do interviews and to do speaking engagements. And some people, like myself, actually follow it pretty closely. And, but as far as American women, the average American women, I don't think they follow it very closely. I don't think they're very engaged with it. I don't think that they really care. That's not to say all women. Some women are extremely engaged, even much more so than myself. And I do a podcast, The Austin Perry Show, talking about politics quite a bit. So I'm actually follow it pretty closely. But there are some women who are senators. There are some women who are governors. And so these women follow it extremely closely, obviously. And so they know a lot about politics. But as far as the regular average woman out there in America, I think that a lot of them are busy raising children. And so they have, kids that they need to bring to soccer practice, and they're busy checking their homework, and, they're busy cooking dinner for them. So there's a lot of moms out there who don't have time to follow politics. And then also there's the other category of woman who, has 5 cats and basically doesn't want a man, doesn't need a man, independent woman, and is like a career woman. And so they're obsessed with making money and, tending to their pets. And then there's another category of woman who is basically like, likes to go out, get lit, go to the club, take shots, do drugs, go to the raves, go to the music festivals, dress in skimpy clothes and go, get shallow attention from men. And so there's a lot of different categories of women. And then, like I said, there's the professional types of women too. So some women, yes, follow politics very closely and are very politically engaged. But on average, the average American woman, compared to men, I would say are less informed on politics.
I think women are not informed in politics. I think the same thing happens to the masses, to where the politicians manipulate them emotionally. I think women pay attention to certain topics that deal with their body, the ab workouts, and um, basically all women's rights. I think they pay attention to that, but I don't think they really are paying attention to the details. I've spoken with at least like 20 women. They don't know who Pete Buttigieg is, or what's the lady from see, I forgot her name. I'm talking shit. I don't even know her name. What's the lady in Hawaii?
Tulsi Gabbard.
Oh, I do know her name. Okay, Tulsi Gabbard. A lot of women don't know who she is. I think they just know the people that pop out, like Hillary Clinton, Biden, of course, Mr.
Kamala Harris.
He's shadow banned, so we can't say his name, Mr. 45. Who else? I think they pay attention to the lead stars. And if you pay attention to the lead stars, you're not really informed. You got to pay attention to the details. And even with Kamala Harris, I don't want to bash her or whatever, but a lot of women read on the positive stuff she's done and the records that she set and the positive stuff she done for women, but they haven't really done the detail. Who is she really, or whatever? Is she really for the people? But and that's my opinion. Yeah, there's so many things about politics that, and politics even for men is very challenging. So I think they're just like men. A lot of people aren't informed with politics. They don't read into details. They get clickbaited and stuff. And even with the polls that they take, I pay attention to the polls, and then I look into the details where people will be like, let's say a poll will be like 70% of women do this or whatever, and then everybody automatically agrees. I actually read the article and read down the poll, and it'll be like, this test was conducted with 1,000 people or 1,000 women or 1,000 men. Out of 2,000 of them, this is what we picked. And in reality, the population of the United States is 330 million, and 51% is women. So you're going to take 2,000 people to speak for 150 million people or 160 million women. 1,000 women don't represent that, but it's just the detail. So that's my opinion on it. And that'll conclude the episode. This is great.
All right. Thank you so much for having me on the American Women Podcast, Carlos.
And where can we find your art? I saw your new pictures.
Yes, for people who don't know, I am also an artist. I do paintings and illustrations as well as video production. And you can go to my website, which is austinperry.org, or you can go to my other website, which is austinperryart.com. And that's where you can find all of my video content as well as artwork for sale and merchandise for sale. And also, if you would like to, you can leave me a contribution, and that will really help me out, and I'll be eternally grateful. So, Carlos, thank you so much for having me on the podcast, and I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you. And any ladies or men like to come on the show, just download the Zoom app, and you can find me on, let's say Mr. Freeze. That's my old name. You can find me on Instagram, MechFrieza, MECHFRZA. You can DM me there, and then my contact info is in the bio. So you can follow me on Facebook and all the other apps, even TikTok. So we can have a discussion. And our rule is, if a woman is on the show, we allow her to speak, and we don't cut her off, and we just listen. So we will not ambush you like these other shows do. And that's it. Y'all have a great night. Thank you for viewing.